You ready?
Please
Yeah.
go ahead.
Okay, my name is David. I'm from Tucson, Arizona. I'm a friend of Stuart's. I am not a member of this community, and I just received the email this morning, actually. So I saw it this morning. I said, well, look, it's going to happen in a couple of hours, so I jumped on. But that's about it. And I feel great. Thank you.
Cool. Welcome.
Welcome,
Thank you,
David.
David. Yeah. Who else wants to
Hi, my
introduce
name is Fran, and I'm a member of We Did It and enjoyed, a lot of their other programming and their goals and basically mission statement. And I am currently in very hot South Florida, heading back to the Northeast today, but definitely interested to hear how we can collectively help with this climate catastrophe.
Yes, thank you, Fran, for being here. Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Steve,
Hi, Steve.
from Cleveland, Ohio. And I'm a member of the We Did It Health community and have a longstanding interest in this particular issue of climate change and in particularly the impact of animal agriculture. I'm going to be kind of moving in and out of the screen, so I'm just going to put myself on stop video, but I'm listening in.
Okay, Steve, thanks. Thanks for being here.
Hi, my name is Cam, and I'm a friend of Stuart's also, and just learning about the community, feeling good. I've got a bowl of hot food here, so I will be. I think I'm going to have to take myself off camera because I don't think you want to watch me eating. Then I'll come back on. So good to see you all.
Good to see you, Cam. Thanks for being here.
Hi, my name is Zaza.
Hi, Zaza.
And hiya. I'm calling from Southeast England. I live in Walmer, which is just opposite France. So you can see France, the other side of the channel. I'm part of the We Did It community. I met Peter via LinkedIn, and I absolutely adored his message. It was like, oh my God, yes, these are my people. So I am a vegan. I am very committed to doing my part to care for Mother Earth. I'm currently creating a preservation order for some trees here because a few trees got cut down. It made me very upset because they offer great storm defenses. The coastline here has come in on itself over the years. I grew up around this area, so even though I've lived elsewhere in the world, I notice the changes. And so these trees are, even though they are not indigenous trees, they are allies. Right. And I'm very much into permaculture. So I see that they are very useful friends to help us.
Lovely, lovely. Yes, and I encourage everyone to follow Zaza on Instagram. She has the most amazing photos of where she lives. It's such a beautiful, beautiful area. And I just love your photos. It just really brings joy to my heart to see them. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind.
And
Thank
your
you.
dog
And
too.
Oh, bless you. And I just want to do something here.
Oh, yay. All right. You got your copy. Awesome.
I have my copy. I haven't quite got around to reading it. I have a huge stack of books, but it is definitely coming closer to the top of the pile, which is actually my next book that I intend to read.
Nice.
So
thank you.
I'm
for
looking
your
forward
support.
to reading it. From what I've seen, from what I've dipped in, it's awesome. Very well done.
Thank you, Sasa.
Hello, I'm Amit. I'm connecting with you all from a little up from Scotland, Glasgow. And yes, I can relate to what Zaza has said. I'm a story writer and an animator, so I educate people or spread awareness through stories. And one of the stories that I'm talking about is the sycamore gap tree. the 300-year-old tree which was chopped down as an act of vandalism. And the story that I'm writing is some people, like Zaza said, are upset about trees being cut down. And the mascot in the story says that this is if you feel bad about one tree being cut down, imagine the rainforests that are being destroyed with 27 football fields every day. And the characters ask, how is that happening, or why is that happening? And the mascot says, this is because of our food that lands on a plate. And that's how we go to sustainable nutrition. So I consider myself as an enthusiast and a storyteller, and spreading awareness through my platform. I'm still building it. I met Peter, I think 4 months ago. Dr. Sailesh Rao had introduced us, and we had a call, Peter, I don't know if you remember. And today is my learning mode activated. Last two weeks ago, it was Fountain of Youth, and I thoroughly enjoyed. I didn't get up from my seat for the 5 hours, and I don't know how long this call is going to be, but I'll be here.
Well, we try to
Thank
keep it
you.
about an hour. Thank you, Amit, for being here. It sounds like a great project that you're working on. And yeah, we got to save the trees. I just heard about there's a plan to cut down some of the old growth forest here in my state of Kentucky, which I can't believe they're talking about doing that. I'm not exactly sure what the driving force is behind that, but I'm looking into it to try to find out. I'm sure it's capitalism on some level. But while we're still cutting down trees during this time, it blows my mind that we're still doing that. So, hello everyone. Just please, yes.
I'm sorry. Let me just add. Well, you've just touched on this. Would you please consider documenting this journey about the old world forest? Because I think a lot of other people would love to know what you're doing, and so that we can be creating playbooks for different things. So this is such a beautiful thing that you're doing. So if you would document it and share it, I think there'll be other people who would want to follow your process, as well as probably some people who had the experience and could offer you some suggestions on what it is you're doing. And that is our mission, is to be able to support each other with things like this. So it would be beautiful if you could document it and get everybody's support, so we can together do these proactive things that we miss these opportunities all the time, and that is our mission. So please document it if you would, and let's have conversations about it and bring it to the community, and let's get you the support and get other people support who are out to do similar things.
Yes, we need to support each other in all of our endeavors for sure. Yeah. Anyone else want to just pop in?
Yeah, hi.
Hi,
I'm
Arik.
Arik from Indonesia. Yeah, actually I'm not really vegan, but mostly Indonesian are flexitarian. So mostly not of us has opportunity to eat meat. So we eat more plants here in Indonesia. But with the topic, I think it's very interesting for me today, because what I'm doing, one of my newest, not only project, but I produce alternative protein that might be quite different than any other alternative protein. Well, I could share it later to you guys if you like to know about it.
Yeah, I'm very, very curious now.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
and hopefully it related with today's topic. It's about climate change. Can we heal the earth with what we're doing? So, well, we'll talk about it later.
Okay, Arik, thank you. Yeah, I'm very curious as to what you're doing. Thanks for being here and sharing.
Okay, thanks to you too.
My pleasure. Anybody else?
Hi, I'm Mary Claire, and I'm from
Hey.
Lexington, Kentucky. And I've been a vegan for quite a long time, but I'm here out of love for the creatures, for the planet, for Stuart because he's a dear friend, and his book is amazing. And I'm always wanting to be in a group of people who share similar interests and are motivated to make a change in the world. And I'm real happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Claire. Great to have you here. You see a comment in the chat. Let's see if I can read it. It says from Elizabeth, I'm Betsy Shipley and changed my diet after reading Diet for a Small Planet. My late husband and I produced Betsy's Tempeh in Michigan for 9 years. Wow, awesome. Welcome, Betsy. That's great.
Welcome. Hi.
Hi. All right.
Hello, Betsy.
We're in Michigan. We're in Michigan.
Near Lansing, Michigan. That was 35 years ago.
Wow.
And Winter always said, let's put our money where our mouth is. So we invested quite a bit of money into building a ferro cement food processing building and producing tempeh for 9.5 years. And everybody said our tempeh was the best. Anybody can contact me. If you want my email, that's fine, because I'm still trying to carry on our mission of getting a tempeh incubator into the mainstream. So that's where I am right now.
Wow, that's
Beautiful.
great. How can we reach you? You have a
I can type my email into the chat. How's
okay,
that?
great. Yeah, that'd be wonderful. Anybody else? Okay. Betsy and Gunter. Okay. Thank you, Betsy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna... Well, Peter, I guess we can go ahead and get started unless there's someone else who wants to say hello. And it's great to see everybody. And I'll also do a plug for We Did It Health. So this Zoom meeting is being sponsored by We Did It Health, or the rebranding to the vegan community. And I would like to screen share real fast if I have that capability. I don't know.
You do now.
Okay, thank you, Peter. I'm just going to show the We Did It Health website. So this is the We Did It Health, and I am now logged in. You have to create an account, and it's free. And then what you can do is over here where it says Passion Pods. If you click on that, then you can find the different groups that We Did It Health is hosting. And then here we are, the Eco Vegans Climate Conscious Conversations. So you want to, I think if you're a new person here, you can, like, it'll say join group. You can join the group by clicking here, and just invite everybody to hop over and do that at some time. It'd be great to have you part of the Eco Vegan Climate Conscious Conversations. We share resources. We talk about things that we encounter, conversations we have with people, new studies that come out about the climate and the environment, and how the intersection with that and our food choices. So it's not going to bombard you with a bunch of information. You know, maybe there's a post a time or two a week, and it'll just come to your email address, so you don't have to keep visiting the site to know what's going on. So anyway, we've had some really great conversations and contributions there, and I've learned a lot by reading what people are sharing. So I encourage everybody to hop on over and do that. And so today we're talking about breaking the fever. Can we heal our planet's rising temperature? And so the answer to that is yes, we can, because we created this climate crisis, through human activity by burning fossil fuels and trying to feed the world a diet centered around animal-based foods. There's a lot of ways that we've done this to create this crisis, and because it's of our own making, we have the power to change it and to turn things around. And the good thing is we have a lot of really smart scientists working on figuring this out. And I'm all about the science. I don't have a scientific background. In fact, a lot of science is way above my head. But I do like to learn, and I do like to educate myself about the science, because I think that, once we know the science, then we can make better decisions and ones that will help not only ourselves, but the planet. And the other thing about science is it's always evolving, right? I mean, scientists are always curious and trying to learn and study and get answers. And the more answers that you answer, the more questions that come up. So it's a never-ending journey. This is a lifetime of learning and growing. And I'm discovering that the more that I read and learn, the less I know. So it's kind of a humbling experience to dive into these topics in a more meaningful way. And that's what I hope that we can do here, to support each other as we learn, because we're all on different parts on our journey and on our path, right? So, and we want to share that and bring into this space, what we've learned and our lived experiences too. So healing the fever, we're going to talk about the science behind rising temperatures and opportunities for cooling the planet. So I think most people know that the temperatures are rising, and we've heard about climate change, and we've heard about greenhouse gas emissions and how it's warming our planet. So we've always had greenhouse gases on Earth. In fact, we wouldn't have life if we didn't have a certain amount of greenhouse gases. But the problem is we have been putting more greenhouse gases into the atmosphere than we've had ever at any other point in history. And when we talk about greenhouse gases, we have, of course, the sun is heating our Earth. And there's a lot of energy that we can't see with our eyes, like infrared. And that energy bounces off, well, the energy from the sun heats up the Earth, and a lot of that energy bounces back off the planet and goes back out into space. What happens is greenhouse gases that are in the atmosphere trap and prevent some of that infrared energy from escaping the planet, and it redirects it, re-radiates it into the atmosphere, and that in turn warms the planet. So this is this is the driver of greenhouse gas and climate change. Is we have way more greenhouse gases in the atmosphere than we should have. And so when we talk about greenhouse gases, it's important to know that there's two different carbon cycles. There's biologic and geologic. And so biologic carbon is carbon that's just here, and it's being cycled through the carbon cycle, and that is not really raising the temperature. That's not creating climate change. What is creating climate change and what is responsible for putting so many greenhouse gas emissions into the atmosphere is taking carbon that's geologic, that's been trapped in the Earth from over millions of years, and then we're extracting that, and we're using that to for power generation and for transportation and for a lot of other things. So basically, since the Industrial Revolution, we've been extracting a lot of fossil fuels in the form of coal, natural gas, and oil, and burning those to drive so much of our society. And then that's putting so much more carbon into the atmosphere. So that's kind of just a brief overview of what's behind the rising temperatures. And we have opportunities for cooling the planet. And we read about them a lot these days. And a lot of them are focused on very high-tech solutions, you know. So we had a discussion, I think it was last month, about cultivated meat and the potential for reducing animal suffering and reducing environmental degradation and greenhouse gases by growing meat in laboratories, basically. And you know, this is very, very high tech, and it's an emerging technology, and it's really unproven at this point as to whether it would make much of a difference. It would have to be whether it's even scalable. So this is worthy of our pursuits, but we can't really depend on that to be an answer at this point, because there's so many unknown variables about whether it could even make a difference on the scale that we need it to make a difference. There's also carbon capturing technologies. I was just reading an article, I think yesterday or the day before, about a new project that just came online here in the United States. I think it's Earth 280 or 280 Earth, something like that. And the 280 is representing the parts of carbon per million, I think, that we were before the industrial revolution. And we have like over 400 or 500 parts per million now. So this project's trying to capture carbon that's out in the atmosphere and trying to figure out a way to store it safely underground or in some other way. So again, this is probably a technology that we should pursue, but it would be silly of us to say that this is going to be the savior, you know, the knight in shining armor that's going to come and rescue us. We do need to capture carbon out of the atmosphere, but there are low-tech ways of doing that, right? So what are low-tech ways of carbon capture? Well, all carbon is captured through photosynthesis. I mean, this is the key way that we take carbon out of the atmosphere. And we store it in the earth and in the plant and in the roots and in the soil. And unfortunately, one of the big things that's happened is we have really severely degraded our photosynthetic capabilities through, as we were talking about earlier, cutting down trees, deforestation. This really greatly diminishes our photosynthesis capabilities. And so one of the main ways that we can help break the fever is to reverse deforestation and actually try to rewild areas and reforest areas. This would go a really long way to helping remove the carbon, and it's a very low-tech solution, and it's a proven method that can greatly help reduce the carbon that's in our atmosphere. And so the other thing, when we talk about diet and the climate, we have opportunities to eat foods that are much better and healthier for the planet and also for ourselves. And those are plant-based foods. And the carbon footprint of most plant-based foods are 90% lower than animal-based foods in terms of the greenhouse gas emissions. So by shifting diets away from being meat-centered to more plant-forward, we're going to help reduce our personal carbon footprint. And so I encourage everybody to, if they can, adopt a whole foods, plant-based lifestyle and eat as many plants and hopefully fewer and fewer to none animal-sourced foods. Now, I know that not everybody's going to be able to do that. And depending on where you live, it might not be safe to do that. In high-income and mid-income countries, we can more easily do this. We can get our nutritional values and our calories from other foods other than animal-based foods. But in developing countries, that depend on animal-based foods for certain nutrients, it may not make sense for them to immediately stop eating all animal-based foods because it may not be healthy for them to do that. But in high-income countries like the United States, it is very easy to get all of our nutritional needs from plants. So when if I was drinking cow's milk, I wouldn't be drinking that I wouldn't be putting that on my cereal thinking that I need that for protein. No, I'm getting protein from many other sources, but in some parts of the world, they may depend on getting that amount of protein from milk. So I think we want to just keep that in mind, that this is not something that is necessarily going to be something that everyone needs to do. So we talk about, in this movement, a lot of times we talk about the global north and the global south. And so the global north, and this isn't about the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, which is what I thought when I heard that term originally. I thought that's what they were talking about. But like the global south, parts of the global south does go into the northern hemisphere. So the global south would be Mexico, all of South America, all of Africa, India, China, and Indonesia. But it doesn't include Australia and New Zealand. They're not considered part of the global south. So what's happened is the global north is consuming way more meat and animal-based foods typically than the global south. And the global north is using a lot more energy and generating a lot more greenhouse gases. But unfortunately, the global south is more vulnerable to climate change, and they're bearing the brunt of so much of the extreme weather events that we're having right now. So the global north is driving a lot of climate change, and the global south, unfortunately, is bearing the brunt of that for the most part in very sad ways. So our food choices do not only affect our health, but it does affect the whole planet, the global south. Now, do my personal choices have much of an impact? I think they do for me and how I feel. And I know divesting myself from something that I know is creating harm, I think that aligns my actions with my values. But do I think that we have enough plant-based eaters on the earth right now to turn this around? No, we need to grow. Unfortunately, the number of people who identify as being plant-based hasn't really changed that much in recent years. We have seen explosive growth in some areas, but globally, not so much. So we definitely want to increase our numbers because the more people who are doing this, the better. And it is the low hanging fruit, and it's the low tech solution to this. So one of the main reasons is because growing food for animals that humans then eat is very inefficient, and it uses so many resources, and it ties up so much land. And if we can give land back to nature, then, like I said, we're going to be able to increase our photosynthesis capabilities and be drawing more carbon out of the atmosphere. So, for instance, if we grew just the grain that we grow here in the United States, 70% of the grain that we grow, we feed to livestock. 70% of the grain the United States grows, we feed to livestock. If we instead use that grain to feed people, and that's grain, that's food that humans could consume, we could feed an additional 1 billion people alone using that grain here in the United States. And globally, if all the grain that we grew and fed to animals, globally, if we shifted that and we fed humans instead, we could feed an additional 4 billion people on the planet. So the good news is we don't need to feed an additional 4 billion people on the planet, right? We do need to feed. There are a lot of people who are nutritionally insecure, and definitely we can help them by shifting away from growing so much food for animals and growing food to feed humans. And because we don't need to feed 4 billion people, we can give land back to nature. And that is going to help us a lot in drawing down the carbon and reducing greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. So I'm curious as to, let's have a conversation about anything that I've said, any questions about it, and we can talk about how we communicate this information to our friends and families and in our communities. So, yes, Eric.
Yeah, I wanted to also mention a discussion that we had in the Passion Pod about methane. And there's an important point that I think a lot of people don't know about. And that is, if you put carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, if you don't try to suck it away by some mechanism or plant more trees, then it's just going to be there for thousands of years. And so the Earth is not going to get any cooler if we completely stop fossil fuel production and don't do anything else. It's just going to stay hot. But there's a whole other story with methane, and that is it has a short lifespan in the atmosphere. And so if we cease methane production, it has a dramatic cooling effect, very quick. I mean, we can reverse climate change by eliminating methane in the atmosphere. And one of the biggest ways we can do that is to stop with the livestock, especially the red meat, the ruminants. They're the ones that are emitting the methane. But even chickens and pigs and stuff with all their manure and stuff, that also emits methane and nitrous oxide. So the biggest thing we can do to reverse climate change is to stop eating meat.
Yeah. Thank you, Eric, for that. Yes, methane's a huge problem. And according to the EPA, the leading source of methane in the United States comes from animal agriculture, from enteric fermentation, from cow burps and manure. So it's a powerful way to, like Eric said, to have a cooling effect on the planet, because we don't need to we need to think in terms of decades now, right? Not 100-year spans. And so we want to choose the strategies that are going to have the greatest impact on lowering the temperature. And methane is, like Eric said, it's very, very powerful greenhouse gas. And it's kind of like the low-hanging fruit. So if we want to make any single change in our eating habits that would be have the greatest impact for the environment, would be to give up ruminant meat. So that's cows, lamb, goats, sheep. So ruminant meat is the low-hanging fruit for sure. Thank you, Eric.
Okay, Mr. Stuart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Eric.
Can I share what I have with you?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yes. Hello, everybody. And I really agree with what everything that you shared to us about alternative protein, about the climate change and everything. And I think I have the answer with my product here. Please let me introduce
I'm going to
you.
pin, let
It's
me pin this so we can see it.
Myers bees.
Yes, sir. It's 9Bs. I call this 9Bs. It's after the name, the place where we produce this alternative protein. This product is quite different than any other alternative protein, because almost every alternative protein, it's made of grain. It's made of seeds. But this one is made of bamboo shoot.
Oh, I was just reading
It's,
about bamboo.
Yes, sir. It's a bamboo shoot. It has meat flexibility. It has brown color. It has cooked meat texture and everything. It's just like looks like cooked meats. Yes, and as the nature of the bamboo itself, the first one from the health itself. This is really healthy ingredients because the first of all, this is gluten-free, of course. It's gluten-free. It's really safe for diabetic people. The first one, and the second one, it has lots of benefits that by consuming it, you can even browse it about the contains about the nutrient contains on in the bamboo shoot, and then the benefit is good for our guts. It's good. It's reducing blood sugar, and cholesterol, and even it helps prevent cancer. The bamboo
Wow.
shoot itself.
Can you hold up the package again? I want to be sure and take a picture of it so I can find it again. Yeah. 9 Bs.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Well,
Thank you
actually,
so much.
9 Bs.
I bring this product to a competition, alternative protein competition last year in Singapore, but we lost because we it was dry product before I upgrade. It's just upgraded. It's upgraded product from the dry product that I brought to the competition, and it's ready to cook now. It's ready to cook ingredients. So if you purchase this, you just have to boil it. Just boil it and season it. That's it, and you'll have healthy product. And then the third one, it's by the nature of the bamboo itself. The first, bamboo is the most sustainable trees, I think, in the world right now, because it grows only 3 years. It's become mature. So 3 until 5 years, it's become nature bamboo, so it can produce more shoots for the next generation. Then the bamboos, it's also help producing water for the rivers. The bamboos, it's also absorbing carbon dioxide, and it is producing 35 more oxygen than any other trees. So in other way, by planting more bamboo shoots, planting more bamboos, we are building natural cooling system for the earth itself.
Wow, Eric, that's really, really great. I don't know if we can
Yes,
sample your
sir.
product in the United States or not. I would love to, though. I was just reading about the benefits of bamboo and the future of using it as an alternative protein source, and here you are. Awesome.
Yes, sir. But but for producing this, actually, it's from our ancestors, but ancestors' way of conserving the food. I mean, it's smoked bamboo shoot. It's just smoke, and it has what do you call it? Active carbon in it. The color itself, it's very, very natural. It's just comes out of the wood smoke. No artificial color, no nothing else, and it's just flexible as meat itself. So you can season it any way you like it, or you can steam it. You can make it in any other food product. But to produce this, we have difficulties. I mean, not difficulties because the young people around us, they don't really know about how to produce this anymore, because more people go to the cities to to have more income for them, and then they're
Sure.
not interested to produce more days because they don't have much money from this product. That's the first
Yeah.
problem. Then the second one, uh, what do you call it? The government banned us uh, to gather this bamboo shoot from the forest. It's good actually. In other way, I mean, we have to plant our own bamboos. So that's what we are doing. We are well, I work with local farm communities, and I help them by giving them the young bamboos, the young bamboos to plant in their land. So in the future we will have more bamboo shoots. So I'm sorry about my English.
No, it's great. I understand you perfectly, and that's very exciting what you all are doing. So, yeah.
Yes,
May I ask a
that's the
question?
first problem.
Hi,
Yes,
Eric.
sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir. Hello.
I'm a freelance writer, and I
Yes,
would like
sir.
I'd like to make a connection with you and to learn
Yes, sir.
more about your story and the tradition behind your bamboo food and your company and so on,
Yes, sir.
and see if I
Yes,
can
sir.
find
It'll be my
some way.
pleasure.
So I'm trying. What's the best way to make that connection? Can I just give you my email
Well,
address?
yes, sir. You can email me. You can contact me by WhatsApp number. Well, I'll share it to you
Oh, you have a website.
from
Yeah, can you put
the
your
chat
website
later
in the
on.
chat?
I don't have a website, sir. I just
Oh,
have
okay.
email and
Okay.
WhatsApp number
Yeah.
and LinkedIn
Art,
also. I have LinkedIn also. Yes, sir.
oh, you're on LinkedIn? Yeah, if you can put that in the
Yes,
chat, Art, any of your contact information, yeah, that's
yes,
great.
sir.
That would be wonderful. Cam's an excellent writer, so yeah, I hope you all can collaborate
Good.
on something. Yeah, very cool.
Yes, the reason I do this and I join this because I'm gathering more energy, more power to bring this great ingredient to the world, to share it. So we need more resources. We need more energy to bring it. Not only myself, because
Sure.
hopefully you guys all can
I
join
think
us.
later this year, I was just in Washington, D.C. Last weekend. I had the privilege of attending the AVA Summit, which is Animal and Vegan Advocacy Summit. They're having one in Asia later this year, and they have a lot of venture capitalists and people like that at these summits, and they're looking for for people to invest in who are working on this solution. So, Arik, you might check out AVA Summit, Animal and Vegan Advocacy Summit. I don't know if you could make that sometime later this year, but that might be a way to get some funding for you. Yeah, that would be awesome. We need all kinds of opportunities to find nutritious protein sources other than meat. So very, very cool.
Hope so, sir. Actually,
Anybody?
last month I was invited to uh, what do you call it? Future of protein production in Chicago last month, but unfortunately I did not make it there. So because I don't have sponsor, my my sponsor pool so hopefully from you people, from you guys could help me out with this. So
Yeah, and
hopefully we
please,
could build something
if you
with this.
yeah, if you can join the We Did It Health, and we can continue having a conversation there, that would be great. And
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I will look for you on LinkedIn too. So So anybody else have thoughts, ideas to share about how to have conversations? I will start it off a little bit. Like I said, I had this privilege of going to the ABA Summit last weekend in DC, and they had a lot of incredible programs. And one of the top talks, the topic was called MBA, Masters in Beef Advocacy. And I was like, what is that? So this is an actual course that you can take on, I think it's online, and it's done by the beef industry. And you can become, you can get your MBA, Master Beef Advocacy. And it's very much promoting why beef is so important and how all the benefits of beef. The people at the summit had taken the course and they were reporting on it because, we need to know, the arguments that the meat industry is making for justifying what they're doing to the planet, So I found it really interesting that what they reported in this talk was that basically the beef industry is using or advising people to use the same techniques that plant-based advocates use, and which I have talked about here. I think there's a session that we did earlier this year where I talked about how to have a conversation about plant-based eating and how to create a rapport with someone, how to actively listen to them, how to try to find a shared goal, how to explain how becoming plant-based helps us achieve that goal, right? So these are techniques that we're using to try to advocate for a plant-based lifestyle. And it turns out the beef industry is using the same plays out of the same playbook. And I thought that was real interesting to learn about. So what are your all's thoughts about that? What kind of conversations are you having with people? How do you broach the subject, and what kind of resistance do you maybe run against, or do you run against resistance?
Hi, Stuart.
Hey, Shikar.
Am I audible? No background noise, right?
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry. What did you say?
So is there any background noise, or am I clearly audible?
I can hear you now. I had to turn up my volume a little bit, but
Okay. So yeah, great introduction of this topic, because it resonates with me that many times as a part of advocating for something, we sometimes think that we are standing up against someone else, and whatever they are doing is so wrong that we don't even want to learn what they are doing to succeed. There's a reason why youngsters do not, for some reason, forget that forests and greenery are something we deeply connect with. When they go to the cities, I'm living in a coastal town and try to relate. I try to invite a lot of people over here. They live in metro cities. Barely any trees left in any areas of the metro cities. I invite them, take them around, make them see the rainforest. And many times people are like, wow, I had never seen this before. I wish I had. But many times it's like it never clicks with the person, because in their mind, it's so deeply ingrained that the city life, the hustle, the bustle is so deeply ingrained that they cannot even relate that I need some greenery to breathe in the oxygen, to have the air cooler for me. So similarly, for plant-based advocacy, there are people who do not even recognize why they do not consume plant-based foods as the only source of food. There's a deeply ingrained as to looking up to animal sources of protein as their source of nutrition, source of strength, source of protein. And the question is, there is something that has happened which has made them believe that, yes, I need animal-based proteins. Yes, I need to live in cities. Yes, I need to concretize this whole world. There's something which has made all of these thoughts successful. And if we do not learn what has made those strategies, those perspectives successful, what strategies or tactics have made those perspectives successful, then we'll miss out big time on the advocacy. So what you are saying about the MBA, I would actually commend the beef advocates for at least knowing that they need to learn from even their biggest uh, opponents. That's, of course, what they stand for is not right. What they are propagating is not right. But at least there's humility in them to say, okay, I'll learn from what they are doing. And I believe that somewhere we also need to adopt the tactics that maybe those people are adopting to ravage this earth, to take away the greenery, to take away the freedom of the animals. And I believe we can discuss those ideas. What has happened, which eventually over the course of time made me believe I need to drink soft drinks? What has happened that eventually made me realize I need to consume everything in a plastic packaging? What has happened that made me realize that I need to uh, cut down this forest and set up a house here? How did this mindset develop? Who did it? How did they do it? What are the different permutations and combinations they tried out before realizing, yes, this is working out? So do you have any examples that you could share, just like you're talking about MBA, uh, of some industry that is actually harmful for the planet, but somehow they have successfully advocated for themselves and instilled this belief in the minds of people that they are actually helping out the people?
Well
I
said.
think one
Yeah,
example
great.
of that is grass-fed beef. A lot of times, a lot of people who teach health advocacy will say, well, as long as you have grass-fed beef, it's okay, or range-free chicken, it's okay, you know. And the idea is that, you know, if you're too poor to buy food for a vegan diet, you certainly don't have enough money to buy grass-fed beef, because grass-fed beef and range-free chicken run about 3 times more in price than the regular stuff does. So it's not much of an excuse, but that's what they push.
Yeah, here in the United States, there's a lot of greenwashing that happens within the food space about these like grass-fed, free range, things like that make people feel better about their choices, but really don't have any kind of meaning beyond just being a feeling, because they really don't increase the animal welfare much. But also, more importantly, from an environmental point of view, a free range cow is going to live longer, and it's going to create a lot more methane and a lot more emissions than a factory farmed cow. So, and it just requires more land. I mean, there's no way that you could, even if you could create price parity between grass-fed beef and regular beef, even at the same price, there's just not enough land. We couldn't feed the world with grass-fed beef. It would be an environmental disaster to even try to do that. But
Yeah, I agree with you, and Shikar also. I'm very agree with you. That's why I'm trying to create uh, more food, more recipes that similar with the beef meat. Like I made my bamboo shoot to barbecue sauce and into like teriyaki sauce with teriyaki sauce and everything. And if you like, I'll share it to you the picture after this. And then for the shikar, he I think he asked about what kind of industries that really really can I mean, could you repeat your answer about
So
the
some
industries?
industries, yes, I'll ask the question again. Some industries have successfully instilled in the minds of people that I am doing
Mm.
good for, even though they are not doing good for the
Uh,
people. And it has
yes.
grown so much today. Now the people are advocating, yeah, this is a good company, this is a great industry. Just like I heard that grass-fed beef. people are now advocating themselves. A grass-fed industry owner doesn't have to say my grass-fed beef is good. The people are saying the grass-fed beef is good. Yeah, you should eat that. So what tactics have they tried out to become so successful? If we are to try out something today, if I am to start selling dirt, what is it that can make me convince the people that yes, this dirt is good for you? Now advocate for me. What are the tactics they have used?
To look at the tobacco industry is a prime example of all the marketing strategies and the outright conscious deception that was sustained in that effort and continues to this day. And then you know, you can look at a lot of different industries and see them adopting similar strategies, you know, such as the fossil fuel industry.
Yeah.
Yes, in our area, in our region, the plywood industries made it like that. The biggest industry in our region is plywood. Plywood, you use it for furniture, plywood industries, and then to do it, they cut more trees, and also they think that bamboos is also pest for them, for the trees. So they cut down all the bamboos that we need to plant more the plywood trees to make it plywood. So that's the sample also. That's what we are facing right now. So that's also the problem for this bamboo shoot. But well, if I can gain more power, so we can make people. Oh yeah, and also in our area, conservation. Lots of people do conservation with the land over there, but doesn't work so much because the people, they cannot have direct economical impact with the trees that they grow. But with the bamboo shoot, if we can produce something from the bamboo shoot like this, I think we can give to the people direct impact, so they can grow them in their area, in their land, and then we can grow more bamboos to help us to help the earth heal, like what we all discussed today. Because you know the bamboos, it's prevented the soil, it grows more water, produce more oxygen, and absorbing carbon dioxide. So I think that's the answer for this.
And I'll also like to add that I think it's a big responsibility of the parents to, I mean, hammer it in their children's mind that the trees, the native trees, the conservation, forest conservation, the greenery, that's what they must aspire to achieve in their lives. I do believe that there is no reason why, including me, why we are so easily conditioned into believing that we have to go to the cities to earn more money. Why did we so easily give into this game of making money, which comes at the expense of so many resources, so many living beings? There, I mean, essentially, money is like game. I get more points, so I want to make more points than someone else. I play games, so I know how this mindset works. I need to acquire more and more, hoard more and more. But is there no way to beat it? Is this game so strong that I cannot be trained to believe that I do not need to play this game? I need to play the game of making sure I respect the forest, conserve the forest, respect the animals. What is it missing at the starting level? Like someone said, follow the trail. Where does it begin at? Where does that mindset begin at? That okay, now I'm going to say that I'll justify eating beef, I'll justify cutting down the trees. What is the origin of it?
I think our economic model has kind of ignored natural resources. And
Mhm.
I'm not well versed in this, but I'm just aware that there are new movements in economic theory or planning where they're beginning to assign value to natural resources, such that oh, here we go. There we go. Regenerative life. Can you talk about that, Zaza?
Well, it was just a book that people might be interested in about a regenerative future rather than a sustainable one, because we've gone beyond this sustainability. A friend of mine teaches this at UWA in Australia. He is in marketing and business. He works in a business school as a professor there. But we've gone beyond this sustainable outcomes. We need to be looking at regenerative. And this book here by Carol Sanford, I'll put it in the chat, gives simple solutions to how people can play their part. I say simple. Well, things can seem simple, can't they? I mean, it seems simple to go to a plant-based diet, but for a lot of people, that's a really terrifying prospect. I mean, I was vegetarian, I think, for over about 10 years before I went. And as soon as I went, it's like, how did I not do this sooner? I feel so much better. Like, you know, getting that horrible dairy out of your body so you don't have all that mucus. So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Cam. I just picked it up on a heart-based whim and was like, oh, I'll show this.
I didn't have much more to say other than that maybe someone will know something more about this than I do, but that there are economists who are trying to make a more comprehensive portrayal of what a sustainable economy should include outside of just, I guess you'd say, typical corporate spreadsheets and gross domestic product. I don't think economics that well, but I mean it all. Anyway, I feel like I'm speaking a little out of my knowledge range, but I do know that there are efforts to assign values to. I'm getting redundant now. I'll just be quiet.
No, I
No,
think
but very,
it's a good point.
I just
Yeah,
want
go
to
ahead.
add, I just want to add to that. This is a very good point. We need to understand why is there resistance in providing or assigning economic value to conservation of resources. What is the resistance? What is stopping them? Fear, insecurity, the fear of losing power may definitely be there. What is stopping the beef farmers, the meat producers from acknowledging that, yes, okay, maybe I can slightly start transitioning to offering alternate means? Is it because they fear losing power, or is there some inherent intrinsic evil intention?
Well, I can speak a little bit to that. Again, it's kind of outside my area of expertise, but there are farmers in the United States anyway who are wanting to make the transition out of animal agriculture into growing plants for humans. So I learned about some of that last weekend at the AVA Summit, and it really made me feel good to know that there are organizations that assist farmers doing this at no cost to the farmer at all. They support them, you know, through the whole process, and particularly in poultry farming in the United States anyway, it's very difficult, and they have these big companies which are called integrators, and they actually own the chickens, they own the feed, but the farmer is responsible for the building and like any equipment that's used. So you have this integrator model, and a lot of producers of eggs and chicken meat feel trapped. I mean, they feel like they have nowhere to go. They're in debt. The chicken industry has them, you know, locked into a system that is totally inequitable, and they won out. And so it's really, really exciting to see that organizations are helping them transition into growing plants for human consumption rather than doing their poultry farming. So I think it does happen. I think it's happening more than I realized was happening. More and more farmers are recognizing that they don't want to participate in the system anymore. They don't want to contribute to animal and non-human animal suffering. They don't want to contribute to climate change and environmental degradation. So I think more and more producers are realizing that they need to pivot. And I'm so grateful that that awareness is happening and that there are organizations that are stepping in to help make this transition possible. And there was a woman whose name I'm not going to remember right now, but she was a cattle rancher, and I think a documentary film was done on her where she gave up cattle ranching because she didn't want to contribute to the problem. So I think it is happening, and we need to support all these efforts and as much as we can. And I'll try to put it, and we did at .health, if anyone's interested, the names of organizations that are doing that. I think one of them is called Transformation, which I thought was a really cool portmanteau, because I'm really big on a good portmanteau, as you can tell by the matrix. So Transformation is another great portmanteau, I think. So that's pretty easy to remember. They're helping farmers make this transition. So really cool. Well, it is now 11 after the hour. We've gone a little long, but it's been a really rich discussion. I've really enjoyed meeting everyone, hearing from you. So please let's continue the conversation. We can do that by, if you can join, we did it .health, and join the Echo Vegan Climate Conscious Conversation. Passion Pod, that's where we're continuing conversations, and we try to have these Zoom meetings once a month. So you can find out about that in the Passion Pod. And thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I appreciate your interest in this topic and all your support. And yeah, together we can change the world, one plate at a time.
Thank you, everybody. That was wonderful, Stuart. Thank you for leading this meeting, and look forward to the next ones. And let me add that we can talk about this offline, but if you'd like to interview and have a guest, then interview people like Transformation, and we're certainly open to doing that also. Yeah, I would love to have something similar to the Fountain of Youth Summit. I would love to talk to you about coordinating a summit based around these topics, because there are a lot of experts out there that we can maybe bring in who can answer our questions and have a lot of knowledge in this area. So I think that would be really, really cool. Plant the seed for that. We can talk about that, Peter. If anyone's interested in that, or people interested in that, if we can bring together some environmental scientists and people who are working in this space to, I'm seeing some heads nod. So yeah, we can look into that. That would be great. Yeah. So I just want to thank everybody for being here, and encourage everybody to, we're in early stages, and to spread the word, to bring more people into the Passion Pods and to our work. And our first goal is to have 200 Passion Pods. So we want to have conversations about anything and everything that has to do with the vegan world, so that the core mission is to empower grassroots ambassadors, all of us who would like to see a vegan world, so that we can have better conversations and more conversations, as I believe that we have opportunities to plant seeds about being vegan numerous times every day, whether it's our doctor's office or the nature center or with our families, wherever. So that's our general goal, and please, love to need all the help we can at this early stages of of getting this momentum going. And Stuart, thank you so much for being part of launching all our work and doing such a wonderful job. You've had several of these meetings and they're all very interesting. And all of you, I am so touched to see the numbers. We've had, I think, 20 people total show up, and that's wonderful. The momentum is wonderful, and everybody showing up is contributing so much to this conversation. So let's keep the conversations going in the Passion Pod. Feel free to post and ask questions and share your thoughts and your information there, and keep an eye on our calendar. We have so much more coming up. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you all.
Thank you, Peter.
Bye, everybody.
Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Amit, are you on LinkedIn?
Yes, I'm on LinkedIn. I've sent you a request already.
Okay,
And
cool.
Zaza
Thanks.
as well. Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
All right.
let's connect. All right.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you all.
All right. Zaza.
Hi.
Cam. Bye. Good seeing you again.
Good to see you too.
Thank you. Okay. I suppose I'll go ahead and end the meeting. Anybody have anything?
No,
Stuart?
thank you, Peter. Yeah, thanks. It
Thank
was
you,
a
Stuart.
good group today. And yeah, I enjoyed the conversation a lot. And yeah, very cool. So
Very
interesting
cool.
learning what people are doing. And yeah, and just knowing that there's a lot of energy and people working to bring about this transition. So that's very inspiring.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you,
Well,
Peter, for all your work. Appreciate it.
yeah, our pleasure. And it's so wonderful. And thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Our pleasure. Yes. Bye.